Hello everybody. Today we're going to be looking at a setup I made to essentially optimize your ranches. So while this system runs, I'm going to explain how it essentially works. So our system has a bunch of automation. So the first thing we do is we only activate our auto sweepers when the critters in this room are above 5, including the eggs and the critters. But what I do is, I essentially, when through this conveyor loader, our critter eggs go up, and then we have a conveyor shut off here. Now, what I wanted to do was to make sure that each critter egg only went through after it was let me show you. Okay, so there's one nymph egg here, and let's say these shine bugs lay eggs. 1, 2, 3. So there's 4 eggs, so that means there's going to be 8 critters in this room. So what happens is this critter sensor is positive, this one is negative. This means that if eggs try to come through here, they will still be dumped. They will not be dumped inside here. They'll not be dumped outside, but they'll be dumped back inside, because inside of the room we don't satisfy our requirements just yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up the eggs using the auto sweeper, because it is positive, and it is going to input all the eggs, but it drops this egg. Okay, so it has inputted the eggs. So now the 4 eggs, now this is intended, although it looks unintended, and I used to run into a problem here. Well, now it picks up all the eggs instead of just the extra ones. So to get rid of the extra eggs and to let instead of refilling this place up with eggs from other places, we can just leave it like this by getting rid of the extra eggs. Now normally there's 4 in here, and eggs should have stayed in here. But what happens is we get the 4 eggs, and they run into this conveyor shutoff, where every 30 seconds this conveyor shutoff lets off a single burst of green signal, and that way only one of the eggs pass through. Now if you look at our automation, we see that, well, the eggs in here are below the amount we want them to be. So what that means is, well, if it's below but it's not above 5, that means it's not at the place where we want them to be. What happens now is the egg is going to get dumped back inside the room. So let's see. And this way, okay, so a little burst. So now this egg is going to go through, and since there's only 4 critters inside this room instead of 5, it's going to get dumped back in. And the way we do it is we check twice. We use an OR gate here, and if it is both above and below 5, then that means it's at the critters inside this room is equal to 5. And using these 2 critter sensors, we determine how many critters and eggs we want to be in this room. That way they don't get cramped. So you set this amount to the amount of maximum critters and eggs that can be in this room. So this is a 64 tile wide ranching room. That means you can have 5 critters of any kind in this room. So according to the room size, you would update this number, and this way we double check. So it has to be equal. It's not equal, it's below, in fact. So it goes back inside. So this OR gate does not activate, because one is red, one is green. It comes out green, and then we do a NOT gate, and that way this egg goes back inside. But normally if you don't do the burst application here, what happens is these eggs are going to be coming through, and before this egg can be registered in this room, the other eggs are going to also get dumped back in this room. So we add the 30-second delay to make sure that this egg gets dropped, And now we can see there's exactly 5 critters in this room, and when we look at the automation, they're both red. So using an OR gate, we make sure we use another that gets out as false, and we use another NOT gate that makes sure that this conveyor shutoff is green. That means since there's exactly 5 critters in this room, including the eggs, any other eggs that were in the queue are gonna get popped out, and then this can be, for example, if you want a self-sustaining Dreco Ranch, you can stick these eggs back into your shearing room, which can be millions if you want them to be. And if you want to use a Scheinbach reactor, you can put these back into your Scheinbach reactor. But you do need a conveyor shutoff. And there we go. That's the solution to this problem. It's pretty easy, in fact. I was thinking about this for actually ever since I started ranching, I was thinking about this problem, but I guess today I really wanted to solve it, so I did. And that's the easy solution. You can't put this down to 20 or something. Just make sure that before the new egg, while this egg is on its way, make sure that the egg you sent before is in this room. So that's the only criteria you have to watch out for. That's why there's a burst timer. And there we go. So now, let's say we kill one of them. Let's see what happens. So now, is there one? There's one in queue, but now there is. Let's see how many. There's 4 in this room. So what that means is, what else happened? Yeah. So this is green, and that means that this conveyor shutoff is not active. That means this is gonna go back in. So as long as there's a queue going, even if critters die or they hatch, well, this system doesn't work if there's 6 active critters, but if there's eggs, it should work. Unless they hatch at the exact moment when you're dumping in a new one. No, that wouldn't change anything. Yeah, so just make sure there's less than 5 alive hatches, and then this process should work fine for you. So we killed one, then we immediately added one back. There's 5 in here. If there were any other ones in the queue, they just get dumped back out. Okay, that's it, guys. And this is what I'm going to be putting in my own base as well in a moment. So have fun. I hope this method helps you out. I tried it for bigger sizes. They should work. I mean, why wouldn't they? But the thing with Scheinbach reactors is, well, in small areas they disperse more equally. So, well, I mean, they still work. This one still works as well. Yeah. Yeah. So this is pretty good. There we go. Okay. Thank you guys for everything. Have a nice day. Hi guys. So while I was editing the video, I realized there is another mistake that can happen if you pile up your farms too much on top of each other, and you make sure that the eggs from one farm go to the next, and so on and so on. Sometimes the eggs can pile up so much that they fill up the conveyor rail and actually end up in the conveyor loader, which means they're in the room and they're registered by the critter sensors. That means that the setup kind of fails, and it just keeps dropping the eggs back in the room, even though there's a lot more eggs. So the best thing to do is create an overflow. From the image you can see right above the conveyor loader, you can create a bridge to the right, and then create an overflow to the left where you can just dump that into your, again, shearing stations or into your Scheinbach reactors. So that's the only exception. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.